Have you ever thought about what life might feel like if you reach your later years without a partner, close family nearby, or a circle of friends you can see every day? For a lot of people, this idea doesn't really come up until it becomes a reality. One day, you wake up and notice that your children or other loved ones have moved to different places. Some of your old friends aren't around anymore, and suddenly your home is a lot quieter. It can be a jarring experience that leaves you feeling lonely, confused, or even scared about how you'll spend your days. But here's the good news. Growing older alone doesn't mean you have to feel miserable, isolated, or regretful. There are daily choices you can make that create a sense of purpose, connection, and fulfillment, no matter your age or living situation. The difference between loneliness and peaceful solitude often comes down to how intentional you are with your time. When you're younger, you may have responsibilities that dictate your schedule, work, family obligations, social events, and so on. But later in life, many of these obligations fade away. It's easy to wake up with no plan and wonder how you're going to fill the hours. The days can blend together, making you feel like time is slipping through your fingers. You might worry there's nothing meaningful left for you to do. Yet by establishing small but powerful habits each day, you can take control of your life again and create a routine that nourishes your body, mind, and spirit. One key step is simply deciding what your day will look like before it even begins. This doesn't have to mean creating a jam-packed schedule with little room to breathe. Instead, think of it as carving out a morning practice, an afternoon ritual, and a peaceful evening routine that ground you and give your day structure. For example, you might wake up at a consistent time, open the curtains to let in sunlight, make your bed, and prepare a simple but healthy breakfast. You could then follow that with something you enjoy, like reading the newspaper, listening to your favorite music, or heading outside for a short walk to appreciate the fresh air. One person who found renewed energy from this approach is Robert, a 76-year-old retired engineer. After his wife passed away, he noticed how easy it was to fall into a pattern of sleeping in, skipping meals, and mindlessly watching television. He felt the days were endless and lonely. Once he created a daily schedule, waking up early, cooking his own meals, scheduling regular phone calls with family, his mind felt clearer, and he discovered that a little structure gave him a sense of momentum he hadn't felt in years. Of course, a daily routine alone doesn't solve everything. Another crucial piece of the puzzle is making sure you keep your body active. It's natural for your physical abilities to change with age. You might not be able to run a 5K like you once did, or lift as much weight, or move as quickly. Still, the biggest mistake many people make is to slow down too much, so much that they barely move at all. Staying physically active can be one of the best ways to maintain independence, keep your joints flexible, and boost your overall mood. Simple, consistent movement is more than enough to feel the benefits. Even short walks, gentle stretching, or standing up more frequently throughout the day can make a big difference in how you feel physically and mentally. Consider Elena, a 78-year-old retired librarian who gradually found herself sitting for long stretches in her favorite armchair, day after day. At first, she didn't mind. She loved reading and watching documentaries, but over the years, she realized it was harder to walk up and down stairs, and even mundane tasks like standing in the kitchen to cook a meal became tiring. Realizing she wanted to maintain her freedom and independence, she started walking around the block every morning and doing light stretches. She even joined a walking group at the local community center for seniors. Within a few weeks, she felt her energy levels rise, her posture improved, and she slept better too. The key insight is that movement doesn't have to be extreme, it just has to be regular. Being consistent, even for 5 or 10 minutes at a time, adds up to a stronger, healthier body. Moving your body isn't just good for your muscles and joints, it's also great for your brain. Research shows that physical activity helps protect against memory problems and cognitive decline. When your heart rate goes up and your blood flows more freely, that circulation supports your brain cells as well. You might be surprised at how much sharper you feel mentally once you make daily movement a priority. Plus, physical exercise often reduces stress and lifts your mood, which is crucial if you're facing the challenges of aging alone. If you haven't tried incorporating any form of exercise yet, consider starting small. Even if you have limited mobility, there are plenty of chair exercises you can do, or gentle movements in a pool if you have access to water aerobics classes. The important part is getting your body in motion regularly so you can maintain your vitality. While keeping your body active helps you stay physically independent, staying socially engaged is what keeps your heart and mind alive with new experiences. One of the biggest dangers of aging alone is falling into isolation. It often starts innocently. Friends move away, family members get busy, or your own health issues make it seem easier just to stay indoors. But loneliness isn't just a feeling, it can also have real impacts on your physical health. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can be as harmful to your body as smoking, obesity, or high blood pressure. It takes a toll on your mental health too, increasing the risk of depression and anxiety. That's why making an effort to connect with others, even in small ways, is a powerful antidote. You don't have to become a social butterfly overnight. Simple gestures like calling a friend or relative, chatting with your neighbors, or participating in a local club can make your days feel fuller. Technology can be your ally here as well. If you have internet access, you can join online groups centered around your interests or schedule regular video chats with people you love who live far away. Frank, an 80-year-old widower, found himself slipping into deeper loneliness after his wife passed away. He felt like he was just waiting for the phone to ring, and when it didn't, the silence wore him down. But once he decided to take the initiative, he discovered his loneliness didn't have to be permanent. He phoned an old friend once a week, joined a local senior group that met for coffee and conversation, and signed up for an online chess club. Within a few months, he felt excited to wake up each day because he knew he'd have people to talk to and share moments with. Remember, staying socially engaged doesn't always mean huge gatherings or events. Sometimes it's the little interactions that remind you you're still part of a bigger community. Even a short talk in the grocery store line or a friendly wave to a neighbor can brighten your mood. That sense of belonging can keep you hopeful and motivated, especially when you're navigating the complexities of later life on your own. Equally important is to keep your mind stimulated and curious. Many people assume that memory loss and mental decline are guaranteed parts of aging. It's true that certain changes happen in the brain as you get older, but it's also true that your brain is remarkably adaptable if you keep it active. Much like a muscle, your brain thrives on being challenged. You can feed it new experiences, puzzles, or creative endeavors to maintain and even boost your mental sharpness. This doesn't mean you have to enroll in a difficult college program or master complex scientific theories. It could be as simple as reading books that spark your interest, trying out crosswords or Sudoku, learning a new language, or taking up a hobby like painting or knitting that requires you to focus and learn new techniques. Janet, a 74-year-old former teacher, realized that after she retired, she spent hours flipping through television channels and noticed she was forgetting small but important details, like where she put her keys or what she needed at the grocery store. She worried this was the beginning of a serious decline. Determined to stay sharp, she picked up a few daily habits. She read a chapter of a novel each morning, completed a crossword puzzle over lunch, and even signed up for an online Spanish course. Within a few weeks, she noticed a difference. She felt more focused, more alert, and even more confident striking up conversations with friends about the new things she was learning. Keeping your mind engaged can also help battle boredom or depression, giving you a reason to get out of bed excited about your day. Of course, another vital aspect of aging with grace and joy is nurturing a positive mindset. That's where gratitude and daily reflection come into play. It's easy, especially if you're going through a tough time, to focus on what you've lost. You might dwell on how life used to be, the loved ones you miss, or the opportunities that feel like they've passed you by. While it's okay and human to grieve those things, constantly focusing on them can overshadow the good that still surrounds you. Practicing gratitude doesn't mean ignoring life's challenges. It means making a conscious effort to notice the small and big blessings that are still in your life. Maybe it's your morning cup of coffee, a comfortable chair to sit in, or the fact that you have a roof over your head. Maybe it's a simple phone call from a family member or a laugh you shared with a neighbor. George, a 79-year-old retired firefighter, found himself in a deep funk after his wife died. The house felt too quiet, and the days seemed to drag on without her presence. He began keeping a gratitude journal, writing down 3 things every morning that he felt thankful for. Anything from the flavor of fresh fruit to a childhood memory that made him smile. Over time, he noticed his mind started to shift. Instead of waking up dreading the long hours alone, he woke up looking for things to appreciate. He even discovered that reflecting on his blessings made him feel more motivated to go out and connect with others again. Daily reflection, whether through prayer, meditation, or quiet contemplation, can also help you sort out your thoughts, reduce anxiety, and gain perspective. It's a gentle reminder to slow down and recognize that your life, even with its challenges, still contains moments of beauty and joy. Finally, one of the most profound ways to find meaning when you're aging on your own is by helping others. This might seem counterintuitive at first. After all, if you're lonely or worried about your own health, you might think you need help rather than being the one to provide it. But giving doesn't have to be grand or physically demanding. It could be as simple as calling someone who you know is also lonely, writing letters to people who might appreciate an encouraging word, or volunteering for a local organization in any capacity you can manage. Sometimes that might just mean offering a listening ear to someone going through a hard time. The point is that contributing your time, skill, or empathy can remind you that you still have a lot to offer this world. Margaret, an 82-year-old former nurse, felt restless and somewhat useless after she retired. Her kids and grandkids lived in another state, and her days started to feel empty. She decided to see if her local hospital needed volunteers, and soon she was helping with simple administrative tasks a few afternoons a week. It wasn't physically strenuous, and she loved chatting with the staff and patients. She also realized that her years of experience as a nurse allowed her to give advice and comfort to people who were anxious about medical procedures. It changed her entire outlook on life. She felt needed, appreciated, and more connected to her community. Her world became richer, and her emotional well-being improved dramatically. When you give to others, you're also giving to yourself. You're creating bonds that can fill the void of loneliness, offering kindness that comes back to you in the form of gratitude and human connection. Helping someone else can help you remember that you're part of a shared human experience and that we all need each other, no matter our age. If you're still reading and finding these ideas valuable, keep in mind that you don't have to do everything all at once. Maybe you pick just one idea to start with. Maybe it's establishing a morning routine, or maybe it's calling a friend or family member each day. Whatever you choose, consistency is key. Small actions done daily can lead to huge transformations in how you feel about yourself and your life. You don't have to accept loneliness or isolation as the final chapter of your story. Your later years can still hold deep meaning, personal growth, and even new adventures. This is your life, and you have every right to live it with a sense of purpose, joy, and fulfillment. Let this be the reminder that your journey isn't over. You still have so much left to share, learn, and experience. If you feel like it, share which idea you want to try first in the comments below. It's inspiring to hear what others are doing to keep their lives rich and vibrant, even when living alone. Thank you so much for being here. If you found any of this helpful, consider staying connected by subscribing or following along for more content that can inform, uplift, and motivate you. It's always heartening to know that there are people out there searching for ways to make their lives better. Whether you're just starting to think about how to make the most of your later years, or you've been on this journey for a while, never forget that you have the power to create a life that feels meaningful and full of promise. The small choices you make every day truly can shape your future, and you deserve a future filled with peace, connection, and happiness.